Isan short street, the empty screen stared back mocking, another deadline missed. I was trapped, promising myself tomorrow for years, letting fear of failure paralyze me. And one Tuesday morning, instead of hitting snooze, I just got up. I forced myself to write a single imperfect sentence. That tiny act broke the spell. One sentence became a paragraph, then a chapter. Eventually, I held the finished manuscript, physical testament to just showing up. It wasn't about genius, it was about starting. You have something you've been putting off, a dream collecting dust. Your biggest obstacle isn't the challenge, but the first step. Today, choose one small step, open the document, tie your running shoes, or make that one call. Full street, the alarm blared at 3 a.m., not because I had an early start, but because I'd fallen asleep at my desk, head slumped against a stack of unopened books. The glow of the monitor still lit my face, showing a blank document. Another night, another dream unattempted. It wasn't just physical exhaustion, it was the heavy weight of a life unlived, a potential squandered, a promise broken to myself countless times. I was stuck. /n I grew up sketching out elaborate worlds, writing stories in tattered notebooks. People always said I had a gift. But somewhere along the line, that gift became a burden. Fear of not being good enough or failing spectacularly paralyzed me. I took safe jobs, paid the bills, but my real passion, writing, became a secret ship. Every evening I'd open a blank document, stare at it and close it again, telling myself I'll be inspired tomorrow. Years slipped by like sand through my fingers. My friends were launching businesses, buying houses, chasing their ambitions. I was still stuck in the same cramped apartment, surrounded by stacks of books I hoped to read and notebooks full of half-baked ideas. The self-talk was brutal. You're a fraud, you'll never finish anything. I believed it. /n the night I passed out at my desk, something in me snapped. Not a dramatic aha moment, but a quiet, desperate surrender. I hit rock bottom in a very ordinary way. The next morning, instead of reaching for my phone or hitting snooze, I just got up. My feet hit the cold floor, and I made a quiet promise not to finish a book, but to do one tiny, almost insignificant act. I walked to my desk, opened the document, and before my mind could argue, I typed a single, terrible sentence. It wasn't profound. It was just words. But it was something. /n that first sentence felt like breaking a dam. The next morning, I did it again. One sentence, then two. It was brutally hard. My inner critic screamed, "This is trash," it said. "You're wasting your time." There were days I sat there for an hour, only to type 3 words. Days I deleted everything I'd written. But I kept showing up. 5 days a week, 6 a.m., rain or shine, tired or energized. My alarm went off and I got up. I didn't aim for brilliance, I aimed for showing up. I wrote in coffee shops where the clatter was a comfort, on park benches where the fresh air cleared my head, late at night when everyone else was asleep. I learned to ignore the voice of doubt, to just put one word after another. There were so many moments I wanted to quit, to sink back into the familiar comfort of procrastination. The feeling of utter inadequacy was constant. But then a small victory, a coherent paragraph, a completed chapter. The feeling of seeing progress, however, tiny, was like a lifeline. I started to trust the process, not just the outcome. I discovered the quiet power of consistency, the slow burn of discipline. /n somewhere around the 6-month mark, the resistance lessened. The act of writing became less of a chore and more of a rhythm. I started looking forward to those early mornings, to the quiet focus. The words flowed more easily. I discovered themes, characters, a story I didn't know I had inside me. And then one ordinary Tuesday afternoon, a year after that first terrible sentence, I typed the end. It wasn't perfect, far from it, but it was done. Holding the printed manuscript, heavy in my hands, was a feeling I can't describe. It wasn't just a book, it was proof that I could start something and finish it. I wasn't the person who gave up anymore. I was the person who showed up day after day and built something from nothing. The breakthrough wasn't just the finished project, but the quiet confidence that settled deep within me. /n what I learned isn't some secret formula. Simple, almost boring, consistency beats intensity. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Create discipline. Just choose one small thing and do it every single day. The magic isn't in the grand gesture, it's in the relentless accumulation of tiny, imperfect actions. Your biggest dreams aren't realized in one giant leap, but in thousands of small, almost invisible steps. The act of showing up even when you don't feel like it is the most powerful act of self-love you can offer yourself. It transforms not just your project, but you. /n you have a dream, a goal, a project that feels overwhelming, doesn't you? Maybe you're staring at your own blank screen, or a dusty pair of running shoes, or a business plan that never quite launches. That feeling of being stuck, I know it intimately. But your past doesn't define your future. The person who feels overwhelmed today can be the person who finishes tomorrow. All it takes is that first, tiny, imperfect step. Don't aim for perfect. Aim for done. Today, choose one small step. Open the file, tie your shoes, or make that one call. Session id, A1, B2, C3, D4, E5, F, 678,900,1,234,567,890 def.